What's going on, good people? It's Iceberg. Happy Wednesday to you. It's hump day. Hopefully everybody out there is having a wonderful start to your Wednesday. Midweek check-in. You wake up speaking your positive affirmations to yourself, listening to your positive playlist, listening to the positive spoken word, all of that good stuff to get your day started. And at some point, if you don't do it first thing in the morning, at some point today, you make sure that you take the time to do a self-check-in to see where you are. Have you been giving yourself time to take care of your mental health this week? Have you been taking time to get some of the activities or some of the tasks done that you have on your list of tasks to do this week? So maybe they don't all pile up for the weekend and your weekend gets filled with everything that you had to neglect during the week. Have you built that time into your schedule? Have you put the time in there to take the time for yourself? It's of utmost importance because, again, like I said yesterday, if you're not here, then you're of no good to anybody. If you're sick and laid up because you haven't taken care of yourself, then you're not really of any good to any of the people who you are out here breaking your neck to supposedly help. So don't do it to yourself is what I'm trying to say, essentially. Talking about the Wednesday check-in, last week was the first week of the year. So that means we're in the second week of the year, right? I mean, we're only, what's today, the 10th or the 11th, something like that? So a few days into the year, and last week when we had one of our discussions, we talked about people setting resolutions, New Year's resolutions. And I said to instead setting resolutions, maybe set goals, right? So let me ask you a question. How are you doing if you believe in New Year's resolutions? How are you doing on your resolution? We're not even 2 weeks into the year. We're not even 15 days into the year. How are you doing? This is not judgment. This is asking you to ask yourself that question so you can do a self-check and determine how you're doing. Maybe you're kicking butt. Maybe your resolution was to get in shape, get healthier, and you've been eating healthier and you've been going to the gym or walking or whatever, and you've been doing this stuff every single day and you are making a lifestyle change. And if you are, kudos, I applaud you. Maybe you said you were going to do things differently on social media. Maybe you said you weren't going to engage with certain people anymore or, something like that. And how are you doing on it? That's the question. How are you doing on these goals, resolutions, whatever you decide to call them, that you have set for yourself? And remember, this is not judgment because you are the only one who knows and you're really the only one who can answer the question. So how are you doing? Did you give yourself an accountability partner? We talked about that last week as well. Having accountability partners for our goals. Did you give yourself an accountability partner? And if you did, are they doing what you need them to do? Are they getting on to you when you're not doing what you need to do? Are they checking in with you to ensure that you are doing what you asked them to check in on? Did you not get an accountability partner and you're not doing your stuff and maybe you're wondering why you're not seeing results with the things that you set out to do? All self-checks. Again, not judgment. This is for self-check purposes. You to check in with yourself, where you're standing on your situation. These goals are for you. I have my own goals. I'm not concerned with your goals because I have my own goals that I'm focused on. So hopefully you are on track with the goals that you set out for yourself. Hopefully you're trending in the right direction. You have all of the support that you need around you. And you have the proper mindset to check in with yourself and to hold yourself accountable. I'm not saying that means beating yourself up, but that does mean if you know that you're not making the right decisions, you have to be the one to start making the right decisions. Nobody can do this for you once you get above a certain age. Nobody is responsible for your decisions. So take that with you and make sure that you are going throughout this day and throughout this week, the remainder of this week, focused on your goals and putting the pieces into place to accomplish your goals, to accomplish the benchmarks and the different landmarks that you hit along the way to accomplishing the total goal. And so make sure you're focused on accomplishing your goals, staying the course, even though it may get rough sometimes, even though sometimes you are tempted to kind of fall off the path of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, especially if it's one of those food, eating better goals and going to the gym goals. It's hard to get up and go to the gym, or it's hard sometimes, especially when you get around family and friends, to eat or make certain food option choices. But you have to be more focused on yourself and more focused on your goals and your well-being than fitting in with the other people. That has to be your focus if you are going to be the best version of you. You can't be concerned with fitting in with the others and whatever it is that they're doing and that type of stuff, because they have different goals than you. They may be able to get away with certain things that you cannot. For example, I have a pretty slim frame. I can get away with eating pretty much anything I want and it not having a whole lot of impact on my weight or anything like that. But I just choose to eat a specific diet. I don't eat anything I want. I did when I was younger, of course, and I still could today, but I just choose to eat a specific diet for the health of my body. There's people whose bodies are not as in shape as mine, let's say. They may have some even health issues that are diagnosed, but they still don't have the mental makeup to change their diet and eliminate certain things from it that they know are having a negative impact on them. If your doctor says you got high cholesterol and stuff like that, and you constantly eating pork and potato chips, you're not really concerned with what the doctors are saying. So little things like that. You have to be more focused on your goal than anybody else, first off, because nobody else is going to care about your goal more than you. And you have to be more focused on accomplishing your goal than fitting in with other people. So it's first up to determining what's important to you. Is it important that other people see you a certain way that may or may not be true? Or is it more important that you are happy in the life that you're living, accomplishing the things that you want to do? I showed y'all over a year ago now where my student loans got forgiven. I'm on a mission to be debt-free. That set me ahead by at least a decade. Or, that helped me get towards my debt-free goal by at least a decade, having those student loans forgiven. So now I'm actually getting really close to accomplishing that goal. And I already have other goals, of course, set out to supersede that goal once I accomplish it. I'll then start having goals or more goals that are associated with what am I going to do with this money now that I have, Since I'm not paying any kind of bill collectors or anything like that, what do you do? So I already have those goals in mind and things in place, and we're already working on that type of stuff. But you have to be, again, more focused on your goals than anybody else's goals, and you have to be more focused on your goals than you expect anybody else to be on them. You can have accountability partners and all of that, and I want you to do that because it helps you to stay on track. But don't expect your accountability partner to be the one to make you do anything. They're just supposed to check on you. Now, if you want them to be hard on you, kind of like a trainer, a physical trainer, a personal trainer in the gym, if you want them to go harder on you and, you know, have them more of a military mindset or whatever, then you can set that up. But they're still not responsible for you accomplishing anything. Even in the military, in basic training, our drill sergeants were not responsible for us passing any of our qualifications or anything. They're responsible for training us, preparing us, and then testing us, you know. But they weren't responsible for actually making sure, like, yes, it was their goal to ensure that we all passed. But if anybody did fail, they couldn't go pass it for them. That's the same in pretty much every aspect of life. We are responsible for our own actions, our own goals. You know, I'll tell you, there's only two things you control: your actions and your attitude. So with that being the case, you know that you are the one who is responsible for taking the actions necessary to achieve and accomplish your goals, to hit the little benchmarks and milestones along the way, to set them out so you stay on track. Like, I couldn't have my goal of getting debt free just get debt free. No, it's all right, let's pay this off, and then once that's paid off, we're gonna flip this over here and pay this, and then we're gonna do this, you know, we're gonna do this over here to bring in some additional income, we're gonna invest this over here. That's how that works. It's not just boom, let's get debt free. It's let's knock off one thing at a time, feel the joy and accomplishment of hitting that milestone, you know, erasing that, getting rid of that one, say, credit card, or getting rid of that student loan. You know, and when you have those student loans, a lot of times there's multiple different loans on there. So paying off one of those loans out of the, say, 8 that you have on there. Things like that. You have to set your little benchmarks so you have something to celebrate yourself for when you achieve a step towards accomplishing the entire goal. Make sure you're doing it for yourself. Make sure you're setting your life up so that everything that you are doing is in striving towards making your life what you want it to be. Not what anybody else thought it was going to be. Not even what you maybe thought it was going to be when you were a child. What you want it to be right now, 2024, whatever today's date is, whenever you're listening to this. You don't have to be the same thing that you wanted to be yesterday. You don't have to be the same thing, or you don't have to be striving to be the same thing that you told everybody you wanted to be for however many years. You are in control of this, and you can change your mind anytime you desire. And then you just set yourself on the path to go accomplish those new goals that are going towards the new thing that you want to do. But take control of your lives, good people. From early age on. I'm talking to all my 18-year-olds that are out there in college and out there in the world with a job. Take control of your life. Take control of the decisions that are happening, that are impacting your life and steering your life. I'm about to get in here on the grind, good people. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. Again, make sure you do that self-check-in. Make sure you are focused on hitting those benchmarks of your goals. Make sure you educate the babies on this stuff as well. And make sure you're taking care of your mental health. It's of utmost importance. Until next time, good people, y'all make sure y'all have a wonderful day. This is Iceberg. Salute.